start picking out some reference points you can use in the night time.
Hello everybody and welcome to a live broadcast on Project Cars of the AOR BMW 320 Touring Car League. It's Season 1, round 2 out of 6, and we are at Zhuhai for this round. And well guys, those of you who watched my stream last week of this league may notice that a few things have changed. Mainly that I am not driving myself. Couple of reasons for that. Basically, you also may have noticed last week that I wasn't particularly good in the car, and that was with having done quite a bit of practice. And well, I gave the car a few more attempts around this track, but I just couldn't figure it out really, and I've realized that without a lot of time to practice I am not going to be able to match these guys because there are some very fast drivers in this league. So instead I mean, I haven't fully given up on it, so I don't know if this will be a one-time thing, and that I'll be able to get back in the car and drive actually next time, but at least for today, and potentially also for the rest of this 6-week season, I will be broadcasting. And also, I am not broadcasting this race by myself. I have a man alongside who has also done some AOR Project Cars racing in the past, and that is Chris, aka Wycombs.
Hello guys, how you doing? Well, I'm a little bit still disappointed that you decided not to race, but I'm happy to be here to help you out with stuff. Hopefully we have a good time.
Indeed, well, does people really want to watch me drive 50 seconds off the pace? I don't know. But anyway, even though I'm not actually in the car, there's still going to be a lot of fun. I know we will, of course, get a much better view of the racing in general in this league. Those who watched last week will have seen, quite a bit of battling at the back of the field, I will admit. Yeah, and now we can see the pros in action a little bit further up. And Stevie, nice to see you. Actually, is it nice to see you in the chat? Yeah, I guess it's nice to see you in the chat. I mean, I wish you were here in the commentary box with us, Stevie, but apparently you didn't want to, so that's your own fault. And nice to see Minimanor, HRT Verstappen, and M. Kruger as well. Those are the guys I've seen post in the chat so far. Nice of you to join us. As for the league, Chris, I mean, I don't know how much research you have done, since it was quite late today that you actually knew that you were going to come to it.
Well, I'm not 100% sure anymore, but I think we've got a qualifying session currently going on.
That would be correct, yes. There is a qualifying session going.
And then just a short race to follow, and then a main race, which I don't actually know how the starting grid procedure is going to happen after this.
Right. So basically, yeah, as Chris mentioned there's going to be 2 races tonight. First, a sprint race of 9 laps. That is what they are currently qualifying for here. So it's a 15-minute qualifying for that 9-lap sprint race. And then after that, it's quite interesting because we're going into a second race on the night, which is called the main race, which has got 18 laps, so double the distance. And what's even more interesting about that race is that all the grid positions are not determined by a new qualifying session, but are determined by the reverse order of this qualifying session. So it's basically a reverse grid, but based on qualifying rather than the race, as you might have seen in many other leagues and series.
That's very interesting. I mean, we have, of course, reverse grids in iRacing, in the Formula Renault, but reverse grids of qualifying, based on qualifying, do the people actually have to set a time to get into that thing? They have to.
That's a bit of controversy actually with Brownski last week, because he tried to be cheeky, did he, and didn't set a time in qualifying to get basically sacrifice his sprint race for the pole position in the reverse grid race, but it didn't work. The coordinators didn't like it, so a rule has actually been put in place now to prevent that from happening. So people do have to set a lap. Obviously, it is possible for people to sandbag their lap in qualifying, but the hope is, of course, that they don't do that, so that the reverse grid is actually a proper reverse grid based on pace, with the slower guys up front and the faster guys behind to give us as much action as possible.
I think it's quite interesting actually that the reversed grid race is actually the longer one in the end. Well, it makes sense that the top guys have more time to make up the time and the last time, but I reckon also that this race gives more points, I reckon. The main race.
That's also interesting because it actually doesn't. It was meant. I think it was meant to do it originally, but they changed it so that both races, despite the different length, it gives the same amount of points. I guess that's probably because they factor the importance of qualifying into it a little bit as well. So yeah.
No, fair enough, I think. Well, looking at the times at the moment, or just what I saw in the practice session as well, we got Zhuhai from pole position, who was also leading the championship at the moment. Only a tenth of his time what he said in the previous session, the practice session, with a 39.9, and Enzo, who is second in the championship at the moment, is currently second.
Yes. And look at the times, you can see what I mean when they say these guys are fast. Based on the time, obviously, I didn't give the track more than 10 laps to try and get used to it in this car. But that was enough to realize that I would have not much of a chance this week. And I didn't break into the 42s, which you can see.
Oh dear.
So yeah, I would have been bottom based on my 10 laps that I did earlier. At the moment, 2.9 separating the whole field, and yeah, Charf's time, the only man into the 39s. That's an incredible time actually, and surprisingly though, considering the form is coming off week 1 with.
Yeah, well, also not really surprising since he was also vice champion in season 6 of the GT3 Elite League. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously he has got some very good pace.
Yeah.
And well, a couple of unknown guys actually. I think not everyone, but many of these guys have been raced in the GT3 leagues in last season. Actually, I think apart from Rillo, I am not familiar with Rillo to be honest, but apart from that, I think everyone has raced in GT3 leagues last season.
Milo might have raced in the Pro League, possibly. Don't quote me 100% on that, but I feel I think I don't feel like he's a new driver.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, everyone in the league should have some prior experience of AOR project cars racing. And 18 drivers turning up today. And so we're gonna look down. Of course, Enzo. He, I believe, he finished at least in the top 5. I think he was the 3rd actually in the championship in the GT3. So. Doing well also here. Papand as well, another top GT3 driver who was coming in for his debut in this league. He wasn't there for the first round, but he's here now. And Gronstra, P4, Claessens, Jeff, Jim Baum, all these guys who you will have seen regularly towards the front in the GT3 streams, for those of you guys who have been following them. And interestingly, in the chat, Chris, people still can't tell the difference between the two, by the sound of it. I don't understand that.
They should learn to, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
maybe it's not. Does it make a difference?
Well,
you know, if they can separate it.
Maybe not actually. It would be. Maybe it's better that they don't. So it's like they think one of us is doing all of the commentary, and they're really impressed.
Okay. And it's like, oh, the other guy's not talking. What is he doing? Well,
it's how it is. Right.
Yes. Also, the track, Zhuhai. Personally, I think, in terms of excitement, it's not really that an interesting track because long straights and many hairpins, not really that many interesting parts of the track. But for me personally, it was a really nice track because I did one of my best races here back in the GT3 league. But so definitely
was it
a track
third
which
place
has
you got?
3rd, which was my first podium out of 2 I got.
Yeah.
In the end, the other one was I think at Bathurst a season later. But anyway, many straights on this track and very, very good overtaking opportunities, definitely.
Yeah, you can see the track map here on the screen. It's several very hard braking zones, several second gear corners. So plenty of overtaking opportunities, of course. You can see Vernix coming into one of them now. That's a second of the sort of near. It's not quite a hairpin. It's probably closer to 90 degree, that one, but it's definitely one you need to brake all the way down to second gear, go very slow through it, and then coming up to what is definitely hairpin now at the end of this long straight, which will most likely be one of the main overtaking spots on the track for the race. And so quickly having a look at the time as we got less than a minute to go, but it doesn't look like anything's really changed.
No, nothing in the top 6 at least. Nothing has really changed. Nothing, and no one has improved actually from the top 6 in the last couple of minutes. So it seems like pretty much everything is settled. And so the only one out, I think, from the top 5 at the moment. Where is he on the track? I don't even know. I think this is towards the end of the lap, so he may be able to finish his lap. I think he's coming out through the last 2 corners. This kink here is flat out, and then through the last corner where you have to brake a little bit into, I don't know, 3rd gear, 4th gear, something.
I think it was 4th when I tried it.
Yeah, probably I would have taken 3rd because, you know, it's me. And does he improve? He does, only slightly though, at 10th. But still 3/10 to Chaff, so closer than in a practice session, though there it was 6/10, so he's improving.
Indeed, and here is the order for the sprint race. Charf on pole, unsurprisingly ahead of Enzo, and then Papan, Gronstra, Claessens, Jeff Vernix, Jimbaum, Sula, and Nismo in the top 10. Andrex then follow, ahead of Rillo, Brandrus, Hideaki, the best driver in the world, Brownski in P15. It's meant to be my teammate, of course. Then we had Dangerous Janetta, Mr. Alcon, and god damn it, I missed the last name. Doesn't
Who was
matter.
it?
I mean, I do apologise to the person who was. I think it was Paradisky, actually.
Oh yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Man, I actually did some battling with last week.
So,
Yeah.
chicken.
Bransky, of course, is still technically my teammate, but on his own. I've left him on his own for tonight, so I'm sure, hopefully, he will rack in the points. Excuse if there's a little bit of bias for me during the race, because he's driving for Team Fisky. It's an interesting mix of our names. So now we have a 5-minute warm-up session before the race, just for everyone to get, well, they will show the usage for some last-minute practice, but it's mainly just so that people can make sure everything is in order in terms of their equipment, and if someone disconnects in qualifying, then I have a bit of extra time to get back in.
Yes. Oh, it's actually 10. Wasn't it normally 10 minutes and then they skip at 5 minutes towards the end?
Yeah, that's what we've usually done in the GT3 leagues. I'm not quite sure why they haven't done it yet, but it doesn't really matter as long as no one disconnects at the start of it. Really.
Yeah, definitely. Well, not really sure what to say at the moment because people are only I think
chill and
doing
enjoy
one.
the view.
Yes.
Hello, by the way, to Alec. I know we've been in the chat for several minutes now, but hello to you, since I didn't say before, and also to Alex RS 2014. Nice for you to tune in.
Definitely not a birth date.
Well, you never know. People grow up quickly these days.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, currently watching Brownski in the beautiful blue livery, which I picked for us. It's going to be tricky for us, I think, Chris, to get used to what liveries everyone is driving in. Everyone is obviously in the same car, so we only have the liveries to separate them with.
It's okay. Well, some liveries do look quite like equal or similar, but I think we will be all right.
Fingers crossed. So actually, yeah, I can guess I can do what I usually do. The GT3 leagues when we are at this stage of the stream, so I can show you a little graphic of the driver standings after week 1. The first 2 races, of course, the sprint and the main race last time out, and so we mentioned already, Charf leading the championship, but only by 1 single point over Enzo, because Enzo got 2 second places, whereas Charf got the first and a third. And Charf also got the pole last time out, which is the only difference really, because there was also a pole position point, I believe. If there isn't, then kill me. But I think there is, still, like in the GT3s. And Claessens, known as Xenon91 in this table, because that's his forum name, he is in 3rd, ahead of Vernix and Flying Kefrano, who unfortunately is not here today. And Brownski down in 11th place, and you can see me there down in 19th place, but I don't think I'll gain any points today, exactly.
It's going to be difficult.
He just got a few last time, but it wasn't mainly because of my pace, it was because of people crashing, really.
Although, don't the top 20 cars do score points?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many cars are in the session?
18. So, I mean, I could have turned up and finished 19th and gotten 2 points for each race, but yeah.
Just for the bands, just add the points.
Yeah. I guess technically I've turned up, haven't I? So I can score 2 points. Look at the team champions as well, but as mentioned, I can't really remember off the top of my head, apart from a Team Fisky, which drivers is in which team at the moment. So you can see.
I can look it up a little. I can look it up quickly. So come on.
Pedal to the metal is at least.
Pedal to the metal is. Well, it doesn't show it. It's great, isn't it? It doesn't show it in the thing.
Right.
I thought in the team roster it would show, but it's just the team and the car.
I think it's on the livery selection thread it shows.
I got. Rip. And team livery. Oh, here we go. And we don't have much time anything left anyway, but
I just heard a crash. Oh, it's Brownski. It's in the gravel. That's from Brownski. Oh god, it's lagging as well.
Well,
oh god.
pedal to the metal is Vernex and Chaff, so it's not surprising that they're in the lead in the championship.
Right, so for some reason I cannot scroll up and down. Oh, there we go. So obviously these times don't really matter because it's just a warm-up. 6 drivers choosing to set a lap on the board there. So, now then, here we are on the grid. 18 BMW 320 touring cars ready for action here around the Zhuhai circuit, and the lights are out. And as in the GT3 leagues, there is a rolling start procedure that shall be had here. We got some time to get into the spectator box.
There we go. Up.
So,
And I need a little bit of time to get used to this controls thingy again.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a while since I started this game.
have you like done a spectator view of races before on this?
No.
Okay, so
never.
I can understand then that you need a bit of time. Yeah, Chaff leading the field away, and of course, as mentioned, everyone driving the same car in this league. It's the BMW 320 touring car, and there's default setups as well, so no one will be gaining an advantage, through being a good mechanic. It's all based on driving skill, which is a shame for me, but then again, I'm also not a good mechanic, so that wouldn't have helped me anyway.
Yeah, I heard you're very good on setups, especially on Project Cars.
Well, I really like default setups leagues usually, but for some reason, unlike in the Formula Renault 3.5 league, which I did early last year in the summer, which I did do quite well in. I was fighting for the championship even in that, with the default setups. But unlike that car, in this car, for some reason, I just can't get on the pace without doing a lot of practice, which I didn't need to in the Formula Renault to the same extent, which is why it's a little bit more annoying.
It may also be just that it's not an open wheeler. I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably more used to just driving Formula cars or open wheelers in general, whereas many people in here are doing both or just only these cars, basically these type of cars. So, and they also drive like the style how they're behaving stuff is always a little bit different. So I mean, could just be that some cars are suiting you better than others. I don't really think, but I think we are on this formation point now.
Indeed. So the cars are lining up in a 2x2 formation at the most. Yeah, so it's a bit just before the final corner. So coming to the final corner now. You can see them all now. Beautiful selection of colors of these liveries, I have to say. As it's now up to Charf. When he will put his foot down here, he can go wherever he wants from now on until the start-finish line. And there we go. The race is underway for the 9-lap sprint race here. And Charf has gotten a nice run down towards turn 1 unchallenged at the moment. But Enzo might have a car sneaking up its inside. That is Papand trying to take an early position there on the inside line. Going very hard on that curb. And Enzo holding it around the outside. Ahead of Papand to hold on to second place. Good driving from him. And Gronstra very close behind Papand as well. As we got a side-by-side battle for 5th position, that's Clausen's just ahead of Jeff, and then on the outside, braking very late, is Vernox, but his outbrake gone a little bit too deep, didn't manage to get it turned in, and he has to stay in P6, I believe, unless he actually...
No,
did he get it around?
Yeah.
The camera didn't help me there, so he did actually go around the side of Jeff by braking tons and tons later. And now, though, Jeff's going to be on the inside again, trying to challenge him back into here, and has he actually got a position? Despite the tighter line, I think he might have. He got half of his car ahead of him at the moment. But Vernox might be looking on the inside here to get it back with Chris.
Seems like a very clean start for all of the drivers. I've not seen anyone dropping back hugely. Of course, some groups forming already a little bit, but it seems like no major contacts happen into the first corner, which is always a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Of course.
Great clean start, and Brandress now on the outside of Hideaki. Excuse me while I just skip through the cars there while I get used to this livery. I basically have to skip to the car to know how it is at the moment. But Brandress having still side by side. Hideaki's going to try to go around the outside of the hairpin here. Brandon has been very generous with the room on the outside, and he's done enough for the time being. Brownski in 13th at the moment, trying to challenge Sevrillo. And there's a little gap up to Andrex, so we're going to jump back to Jeff and Vernix, are still going at it actually for P6. Oh, and ahead of them. It's now the battle.
Papand and Gronstra going side by side. I think Gronstra just made the position of Papand. Papand wasn't third. Afterwards, there comes on the inside. Oh, wow, very late move from Clausen's there, but he makes it stick surprisingly. I was really surprised that he didn't go wide into his teammate there, but
that would have been interesting if he did.
Yeah.
Did work though. He managed to get the position on Papand. Quite aggressive. I'm not sure if he just braked too late or if he actually intended to do a little bit of a dive bump up the inside there. A few callings of gap from P5 down to P6. Vernox starting to form a train behind him.
Unsurprisingly, with all the battling in the past.
Yeah, true. Jeff, the car behind at the moment. I saw some side by side back there. The camera isn't really helping me out. I think that is Jim Baum and Nismo side by side. Now coming towards the 90-degree left-hander here. And Nismo on the inside, I believe. And he drops his position. So, Nismo with a good move. Andrex looking right at the back of them as well, trying to capitalize on their poor exit as a result of that. But it doesn't seem to be gaining any in the slipstream area. Obviously, everyone in this train will have a slipstream as well. So that's not really a big factor at the moment.
Seems like Klaassen had a little bit of a wide moment there into the hairpin, which allowed Papin to close up a little bit. He was a little bit pulling away over the lap, but it seems like at the front that Chav is pulling away, and also Enzo pulling a gap on Gronstra at the moment. So the top three are spreading out on these first two laps.
You can see it here, so we just have a lovely angle. Just give you an idea.
For once.
Yeah, of how far everyone is apart, and you can see the massive train to get to the midfield. And what are you watching then?
Klaasen's again so late on the break. He just had a completely different approach to that first corner than Gronstra and Papin have. It's very, very interesting to see, to be honest. But he still has not made the move on Gronstra, but he seems to be fast at the moment, at least.
Yeah, I was just watching a battle down for P16 with Mr. Alcon and Dangerous Ginetta going at it, and Mr. Alcon having that position at the moment. And still, though, in the midfield. Oh no, Brownski! What have you done, mate? What have you done? Who's that is taken with him off the track there? That is Ginetta? No.
Yeah.
Wait. Who is it?
Paradisky.
Paradisky.
No,
right.
Paradisky? I think it was Paradisky because of the livery. I would have said Rilla otherwise, but I think it was Paradisky.
No, I'm not sure. No, I think it was Rilla actually, because he's lost a lot of time and he's got some damage on his front left.
I see. Oh yeah.
I didn't quite see how that started. Just saw when they suddenly started shooting off the track to the left.
I think it was on the exit of turn 1, 2, 3, when they have the little king of going to the right, and then they just came together on the exit, and with this game also having like a glue effect basically when you're going into the corner. Just
love the glue effect in racing games.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It seems like there's like almost in every racing game it's like this glue effect on the side pods, which is really annoying sometimes, but you know.
It's very annoying when you're driving and you just get just a tiny bit too close to the car you're battling, and you know suddenly get stuck to each other and you can't really do anything. But that's how it is. Shame for Brownski and Aurelio, of course.
Yeah.
It seems like a gap ahead of P3.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Chav and Enzo running pretty similar lap times, but I think Enzo, no, he was not fast on the last lap. Was he? He was not fast on the last lap, but it seems like he's not too far. He's still in striking distance, but Gronstra is definitely coming under pressure from Papin, who is actually overtaking Klaasen's again.
Yeah, I just noticed. And Klaasen's, though, nearly looked like he was going to look up the inside. And Vernox has broken away from his own train and started following these guys in the podium battle instead. So Vernox right at the back, and Jeff has followed him as well. And then there's the gap now to the Andrex train from P8 downwards. But we will focus for now on this five-way scrap here for P3 and the positions following. Vernox having done a really good job then in the last lap or so to close that gap down. Oh, and Jeff has spun it by himself in the background.
Oh no!
Straight in the wall, heavy damage at the front of his car, and he's gonna have to wait for a few cars to go by before he can rejoin. Luckily, there's a massive gap behind
That
11th
car's-
place.
That
Yep.
car's not looking good at all.
No. That's a
I
shame.
wonder. Probably have to counter Steven to keep the car straight at the moment, which is, yeah, it doesn't seem like he's really having much grip in his car anymore, and he's now been overtaken by dangerous Ginetta most likely. Well, not quite yet.
Speed seems okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, he's gonna try to hold it. It's a very tricky one though to go there on the outside here because it's such an understeery corner. Oh no!
One again?
What's that?
What was that?
Gronstra has had an incident. Somewhere on the main straight. He's dropping down into this group now as well. Didn't see what happened to him, unfortunately. As changes Ginetta now making a move. Stick on Jeff, and another car coming off the inside. That's Paradisky. Had to really slow down there a lot to not hit to the side of him. Might have been a tiny bit of contact, and he's really had to save the car on the exit as well. And now that's Branders having come through.
Oh dear.
So, Jesus, suddenly it's all kicked off there, and it's not even the reverse grid race yet. So let's go up a little bit just to see how that's affected the front guys. So Grunster was in P3, I believe. Or was he class? No, I think it was...
No, it was Grunstrup leading this train.
Yep. And now Papan has taken the P3 back then.
Open up those massive gap. What happened to... Well, Vernox also dropped back quite a bit from this train. Maybe there was, I don't know, maybe Grunster just spun on the exit of the final corner and just caught a few people out as well. Not sure.
Just a lap ago, at this point of the track, we were saying, oh, Vernox has done such a great job as closing this gap up. But yeah, something has definitely happened there. Maybe getting caught out by whatever happened to Gronstra. And also Andrek is now up to P6. He was 8th a lap ago. Jim Baum in 7th place. Yaki 8th now. Ahead of Nismon. There's a little gap down to Sula in P10. Dennis Ginetta in 11th. Jeff still going though with that damage in P12 and trying to fight back on Ginetta.
Oh.
So
probably has got good enough pace in the car, definitely, to stay within these guys.
Yeah. So obviously Jeff kind of has the pace to be a little bit further up, but with the damage maybe he's found some new guys to have a similar pace with, a little bit further down the field. Branders now is going to get a great round though, and Jeff is forced defensive. Doesn't seem to be helping his straight line speed.
Ooh,
But Jeff is going to go very deep, and he's forced that Ginetta to avoid him there, and he's done well wide and dropped several positions.
Fair play to Dangerous Ginetta to avoiding the contact. That was very, very tricky going onto the apex there, but he managed to do so. Luckily for both of them.
Ooh, nailed some contact there as well with the Paradisky on Gronstra, and that's a slow exit for...
That's a cut track penalty, which I was about to say. On that exit there, you can quite easily... Ooh, Scottish are going wide. In the kink there, which is surprising. That kink should be flat out. Well, maybe it's not in these cars. But,
we should. Even I took that kink flat out when I was... if I could take it flat out, these guys definitely can. You can see Brownski now.
Oh, it's got that between Clausen and Papan up the front.
Oh, no.
Bit, but not too major, I think. Clausen was attempting a move up the inside of Papan there, but it didn't make it work. And Andrex up into P5. What happened to Vernox?
Oh god, he's dropped 3 positions now. I can't really see any damage though. So I'm really confused as to what's going on with Vernox at the moment. And now it's in the middle of a bit of a sandwich between Hideaki and Nismo. Nismo looking very close on the exit here. Getting a great run onto the main straight and already has nearly his full car on the inside. Going down into turn 1. Let's see what kind of lines these are taking. Well, Nismo has to take a tight line and Vernox trying to brake later, but so far isn't making it work unless he can get a great traction out of here. Nismo just about forced to leave him enough room on the exit, but he got that position, and that is P8. And what were you gasping about?
No, that was about that, because it was a little bit squeezy coming into the corner under the braking, so I was a little bit scared.
That's just about fair. Vernox trying to fight back though, but yeah, it's really not easy to say why suddenly Vernox's pace has dropped so much from just a few laps ago.
Sula's going very slow, not sure why. P10. Maybe had a cut track penalty as well. Yeah, maybe had a cut track penalty as well. That's why he was so slow on the exit there, but not sure.
Just looking back, Brownski up to P13, trying to challenge Paradisky now. For 12th, of course. Oh, and Paradisky spins. That makes that very easy for him. Paradisky off into the grass there. let's have a look as Gronstra in P16, so he's had another mare somewhere. Paradisky rejoining all the way at the back now. Everyone's still going at least on the well into the lead lap. But yeah, quite a few spins going on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, some exit off this corner as well. Also in the GT3 car, I just noticed that some exits out of the hairpins can be very, very tricky because, I don't know, I feel like there are like some small holes here and there where you can easily just catch you out a little bit. For example, no, they're not that part of the track, but I think it is one of the hairpins in the second sector, just where you just drop on the track a little bit, and if you get it wrong, then you just spin instantly. You can't really do much. So really have to take the corner right in order to avoid that.
You can see some comments in the chat saying the stream died. I hope that's not the case. So let me know if it's back.
It should be back, yeah.
Okay,
it says live for me
no,
again.
It's saying it's back. Okay, good. I don't know why it's just randomly decided to do that. But anyway, hopefully it says back and now. I'm watching Pavan and Klaasens go close together. The gap to Andrek's quite big now. And Hideaki following, and Nismo still going at it with Vernox though. For P7.
Yeah, these guys have to, seem to have found each other in the last couple of laps.
It's actually, is it the final lap? It's been such a
it might actually be, but I think they're going side by side. I can't really see. Vernox and Nismo are going side by side into a corner. Actually, was talking about earlier, and they managed to go side by side through there. Can Vernox hold it round the outside through this kink? It would be very, very impressive if he does so, and he does it.
At the moment, he's done it. Yes, great move by Vernox to get P7 back. As he's forced to defend though, because Nismo's gone well later on the break. And can he get the traction here, or will Nismo with a wider exit get what he needs here? He's going to try to stop back in the slipstream as Charf is actually coming across the line, I believe.
Yes, he
win
crossed the line.
this race. That's a sprint race, and Enzo in P2, Papan just ahead of Klaasens in P3, Andrek's going to get P5 ahead of Hideaki, and then these guys still battling for P7, and Nismo's nearly pushing Vernox around the final corner. Who will get to the line first? Nismo will have the slipstream, but it gets it too late. And that's Vernox then in P7. Jim Baum's going to be the next man to cross the line in P9. Points for the whole grid, of course. Yeah, and it's nearly a photo finish. He just about gets it there. Does Danger Janetta on Sula for P10. Brownski's going to be P12 with Jeff closely following him. And then Rillo and Gronstra and Brandrus. And towards the back of the field, Paradisky, which means he's not lost anymore. That is Mr. Alcon, who's had him.
Who spun at the last corner.
At the last corner. And now he's just decided to scrape the wall because he can't be bothered turning anymore. But man, that went by quickly because I'm so used to commentating the GT3 races, of course, which is like an hour long, and suddenly we have a 9-lap sprint race going on. So I was just very confused when suddenly we're in the final lap.
Yeah, definitely. I just didn't keep track of the remaining laps as well.
Yeah, I didn't really until that point either. But of course, the race isn't over for today, guys. Don't leave. We do have a main race coming as well. Which will be twice as long and with a reverse grid based on qualifying. So the faster drivers will be at the back of the field at the start of the race. The slower guys will be at the front. It'll be very, very exciting. As if this race wasn't hectic enough, that will just be some crazy banana bands, which I experienced myself last week.
Was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch the start of the main race for me last week?
I think I watched the first lap and then I had a race afterwards, which I signed up to.
Yeah, well, the first lap was the main thing, really.
So yeah, okay.
It didn't quite work out for me. I started on the front row in P2 last week in the main race, basically because I was shitting qualifying. As we have a new follower, that's just a follow sound that I have forgotten to turn off. Thank you to Zero Challenge for the follow there. What were you going to say, actually?
You're just not good at starting in the front row from reverse grid.
Yeah, that's yeah. I was alright at it in the Formula Renault 3.5, starting at front rows, but that was not in reverse grid. So yeah, whenever there's a reverse grid and I'm just off the pace at the front there, it just doesn't end well. Yeah, I got a really bad launch to begin with. Dropped several positions even before turn 1 at Laguna Seca last time. Then there was a car sideways at turn 1 which I had to avoid, went wide, dropped even more positions. Then I kind of hit the car at turn 3, dropped even more positions, and then a couple laps later I spun it, dropped all the way to the back. So it just wasn't working out too well.
I can imagine.
But yeah, luckily, in that sense, I'm not going to be driving this main race here today.
Gonna be Paradisky on pole position, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and he was the man in pole last week as well, so at least he got a bit of experience. Unlike me, he didn't drop down from that position right at the start of the race. So now, though, we have a little break, of course, while these guys get the lobby set up for the main race. The reverse grid and everything.
Yes, I was just checking where Paradisky actually finished his race last week. He was 19th in the end, so he didn't do that great.
I think he did well.
Behind you.
I think he did well for the first few laps, and then he had some problems.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he finished even behind you in the end.
Yeah. He was one of the guys I passed in my very minor recovery drive, while basically he spun and I just drove past him when he was in the ground.
Oh dear.
So, hello. Bit of a intermission graphic going on there, and you can see all the chat and everything on the screen right now while we're just waiting. So, I don't know, what can we really talk about while we wait here?
A good question, actually.
Yeah, it really is, actually.
It would be nice to have the quality results, but I forgot. Oh my god, Project Cars doesn't... Oh, I disconnected. That's brilliant.
Oh, don't do that. Need to get in back quite quickly, actually, because I think it's only going to be the 5-minute one this time, which means you'll have only 2 minutes to get in.
It's fine. I clicked something which the game didn't like. I don't know actually what happened.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, as long as you can get back in there. Brownsky in the chat, how are you doing? P3? No, yeah, I swear I saw you finished P12.
12, yeah.
So, well done on that, in a way. You gained some positions from your quality, I believe.
He did.
Yes, I do apologize about my face being visible, but, you know.
Your face being visible. Oh yeah, it is visible.
I got my fancy while we wait.
Yeah.
So, let me know, guys, how you found that race. Was it better without me driving?
Oh.
I enjoyed it more than I did while I was driving, in a way, just because I was horrible. But yeah.
Aww. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Yes.
Like I said, I will give it. I will give it another try next week. I will go in the car. I'll do some laps around. I believe it's Silverstone next time, and I'll see how shit I am, and also how much practice I have. If there's any chance of me, challenging anyone at all in the race, then I might do the driving myself. But yeah, we will wait and see on that one.
Alright. I'm back in the session, which is good.
That is good indeed, because the warm-up has now started. So let's see if we can find any cars out on track. Oh, several cars there. Brownsky, are you driving? No, you're not.
Of course he's not.
Of course not, he's in the chat.
He's on chat, yeah.
Minnie gives the thumbs up. That means probably that he enjoyed the race and he's happy that I'm not driving because of shit. So
Minnie, you can't say that. For God's sake.
We didn't say it. That's just what I'm assuming he was thinking.
You're interpreting bad things into other people's opinions.
No, but I'm interpreting logical things into other people's. Anyway.
Yeah, just decided to spun on the straight for no reason. Not sure why he has done that, but he now has a damaged car, which is
Let me actually see. Can I find is there any car close to the end of the lap? I can do a bit of a track guide where we'll wait for this race to start. Yeah, he's coming towards the final corner. Maybe is that the final corner?
Yes, it is.
Yes, lads, let's get a front bumper view of an onboard lap with Hideaki. He better not freaking not complete his lap. I'll be severely mad. But here we go. Hideaki is going to come down into the first corner of this Zhuhai circuit, and the exit of the first corner is turn 2 for some reason. So there we go. The first apex is turn 1, then turn 2 is somewhere around here. And it's of course full throttle through this little kink here. It's a flat out kink in these BMWs, and well, most cars I assume. Braking just before the white bit on the right side there, and there's a second gear corner. Don't want to extend it because Project Cars will be mad if you do that in the race and give you a slowdown, as we saw a few times already in the sprint race. Then flat out through here, even for me, and then braking very hard for a very short, slow hairpin. Second gear again. Some might take it in first, maybe, just to get an extra turn in for a little bit, but I chose to be in second. Maybe that's the reason I'm shit, but I'm not quite sure. Then another slow corner here, not quite an hairpin, but close to it. Second gear again, left-hander off turn 9, and then the kink here, turn 10, which is more tricky to do flat. As you can see, Hideaki's gone a little bit wide and nearly spun off that curb there. So when I drove this, I had to do a little lift through there in 4th gear, and then another hairpin coming up off turn 11. Second gear again for me, and getting on throttle as early as possible. The little kink on the exit was turn 12. Then quite long straight. I believe this is the second longest straight on the track. Coming into the final corner, which is a 4th gear corner, potentially 3rd for some people. But I think you just about get away with 4th gear, just to carry as much speed as possible through it. And then there is a lap of Zhuhai.
It was not a particularly fast one.
Yeah, 1:43.3, which is well slower than what we've seen in qualifying earlier.
Yes,
But,
and also from Hideaki himself.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone was 42 or lower in the qualifying, so...
Yes.
Yeah, we're just waiting the final 52 seconds for this, as I've realized now that I've forgotten to change the scene, so you've been able to watch my beautiful this whole session. Let me find the scene. There we go. So yes, Brownsky, I just remembered. Lol. I just wanted to show all of your beautiful chat comments off for a bit longer, obviously. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, that's what you want, really.
Well, some people might.
Anyone out on track? It doesn't seem like it.
Nope.
Not really.
So
His pit boxes are actually pretty, like, depressing.
Oh, yeah. Just a metal wall surrounding the car.
It's
Great.
like,
There we
we
go.
have a metal one.
Charf is the slowest time. What's happened? He's
Probably-
17 seconds off the pace. He's lost it. That's the
Oh, no.
championship leader.
Probably just the first lap, the outlap also counts, I think.
Might be the case.
But
Right then, here we are on the grid for the nearly said sprint race, but it's actually the second
Main
race. Actually,
race.
the main race there. 18 laps we're gonna have. Reverse grid as well, based on the first qualifying session. So the procedure here now is basically that the coordinator will call out the names in the order they need to leave the grid. So that'll be Enzo, I believe, doing that job.
here we go. There goes Paradisky into P1 as he should do. And then P2 is Mr. Alcon.
Yes.
And then shortly see Rangers Janetta, Brownski. Actually quite interesting.
Brownski's in a
Like
decent
that.
position there, P4.
Yes.
Of course, the Season 1 GT3 champion and the greatest driver on the planet. So he could do well from P4. Hideaki as well in a decent position for him. P5 there. Brandrus is the next one, ahead of Rillo. Andrex is going to be starting in P8. Then the next man, I don't quite remember who is. There we go.
It's Nismo, I think.
Nismo is the next one to move.
Ooh, Nismo's actually in a good position here because he had some decent pace in the first race, battling with Vernix in the end there.
Indeed. Sula is going to start from P10. Jimbaum P11. Vernix P12. I swear Vernix has changed the livery since last time, unless that's...
He did indeed, yeah. It was a blue one before, but maybe it wasn't a
Yeah,
wrong livery.
yeah.
even.
I think actually, yeah, I think he was in the wrong livery for the first race, and this is actually the livery because he's a teammate with Charf, isn't he? And he was running this.
Oh
one,
yeah,
so-
he is.
Jeff's going to be starting P13, Clausen's P14, Grunster P15. Same for Grunster, of course. So when you have the reverse grid base in qualifying rather than the sprint race, then if you have a bad sprint race, then you're not going to get anything back for the main race.
Yeah, what was about to say after the race? Oh, Grunster's actually having a good position. Qualifying reserves too. And Chaff is on the way as well after turn 1, so there is the leaders.
And this is the most interesting part, of course. We have Enzo and Chaff, the guys you saw running away with it in the sprint race earlier on. They're going to be right at the back of this field now. So, question, of course, can they get all the way to the front by passing everyone? That's the only way they'll get there.
Almost able to do it last week. Almost, not quite. Getting 2nd and 3rd.
Yep. So Enzo actually beat Chaff in the sprint race.
Yes.
Sorry, in the main race last week.
Mm-hmm.
And who won that main race last week? Actually,
Vernax, I think. No, was it Vernax? It was Claessens.
Claessens, interesting.
Claessen's also in a very good position here. He is in, well, of the top runners, he's the first one.
Yep.
In 14th.
He's ahead of the super quick guys.
Yes. But a couple of corners still to go for Paradisky as they waited. I think they just stopped on the track. Did they do that last week as well? Stopping on the track for people
there's like a formation point after the first sector where they're basically just waiting for everyone to catch up.
Formation point before the formation point.
Sorry, wait. Grid reversal point or something, I think it's then there's a formation point, then there's acceleration zone. Oh, so many weird names.
It's a little bit confused, but once you get used to it, I think it makes reasonably sense. And that is everything just only because of this, because of Project Cars not having proper lights going on.
Indeed. So obviously the reason we're doing these formation laps is because for the main reason. It's also a bit cool and also helps us as commentators to actually see the full start of the race. But there can be some bugs with the standing start here where some people don't quite get the lights out at the same time as others, and so. But now then, we have Paradisky leading the field away. Qualified last, he's on pole there for the main race.
And I think they're already on the white. Going in down the start finish. Actually, Paradisky had a very good start in this P4 with Brownski had a very good start.
It's gonna be 4 wide! It's gonna be 4 wide! Nearly Hideaki backs out of it. Brownski's up to P2 already! Great launch for him, and can they get through this one cleanly? Brownski's gonna try to take the lead actually of Paradisky. Oh, there's contact! Paradisky, they didn't see him on the left side there. They're both be forced in the gravel. They're gonna have to find someone to rejoin. Danger. Janetta has taken the lead of the race ahead of Mr. Alcon. Hideaki up to P3. Nismo now in P4, but on the grass a little bit has actually managed to get past Hideaki despite being on the grass as Brandress in P5 with alongside his teammate Andrex, and there's just cars everywhere back there. Chris, what is happening?
I don't even know. I think it was 3 wide into turn 5. I think there were, and there was contact between Brandress and Claessens, but nothing too major. Claessens up into P10, Grunster up into P9, and where are the others?
Ooh, off the track a little bit. Brownski a little bit on the grass again. Brownski has basically dropped to the last. He has dropped to last after starting P4. It's been a nightmare after looking so good coming out of turn 1. And then through turn 2, he just went all wrong for him. Chaff still in last though, actually. The championship leader and the winner of the first race. And Brownski's actually repassed him then. Good job from him then. And Sula has dropped a bit. Enzo's gained a few from where he started. Up to P15 now. Gonna jump up. Paradisky, of course, out on pole, is in P14 now. Papan has made his way up to 12. And it's a bit of smoke on back there. Oh, it's really bunching up towards the back of the field. Enzo's had a bad exit. Oh my word. And Brownski's trying to take advantage of a few cars going slow here. Paradisky as well. And Chaff just sitting back, hoping for no bad things to happen to him, really.
Brownski backing out of that one on Enzo. Trying to get a better exit, of course, but he has not done so. He's actually... Oh, is that Paradisky dropping even further back?
Yeah,
actually, someone who's in a very good position, as I talked earlier, is Nismo, who's already challenging for the lead.
How's he done that? Oh my word, he's almost out for the lead, and Danger Janetta trying to hold on from Nismo already, and look at the gap they have as well. Nismo on the inside here, he's in a great position if he can get this move done cleanly, and he can indeed. Danger Janetta been very generous with the room left there. So Nismo into the lead of the race, and then Brandress ahead of a big train.
yeah, Mr. Alcon dropped into P4. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe there was contact between him and Nismo, or just spun on himself. But he's down to P4 after being right behind Dangerous Janetta. And Andrex already up into P6 once again, although he started 8th, I think, so he didn't gain too many positions. Werner's up into P5.
Yeah.
And it seems like
He's looking good.
It seems like that Klaasens and Gronstra out of the super quick guys are looking probably in the best position at the moment, because
Yeah, both the orange car have gained quite a lot.
Enzo, Papand and Chav also are nowhere to be seen.
It's very true. Enzo and Schaff have really taken them their time getting through back there. Really been caught in battles towards the back, which they wouldn't really have wanted to that extent. But of course, that is what the reverse grid brings, and makes it more difficult to be at the back. As we now got Rillo side by side with Hideaki. So Hideaki's dropped down from looking good at the start as well, and he's slotted in behind Rillo through the final corner here. And I think we're about to see some action between the two orange cars. Klaasens and Grons is going to be side by side, and there's another side by side ahead of them. That is Mr. Alcon and Vernox. And Vernox has got the inside line. Might be 3 wide. Oh, it's going to be very close. That was Andrex just about backing out of it. Probably a wise move. And then the orange cars really have nowhere to go. They are probably faster than all 3 of these guys, but yeah. This is not somewhere you want to be 3 wide, as Gronstra has tried to force it there. But then just again forced back out of it, because Andrex is still side by side with Mr. Alcon.
Vernox.
No, Vernox is ahead, has pulled a gap. And there's a car off the track. Still contact. Oh, who's that gone off?
I don't know.
I think that was Mr. Alcon off onto the grass.
Yeah, he's been touched in the rear by, I don't know, an orange car, I think it was.
I think it was Klaasens. I think it was Gronstra that went off first, and then Klaasens had some more contact with Mr. Alcon. So Gronstra dropped down again then to P11. Really hectic. Oh my god.
And Enzo all of a sudden up into P8. Wow.
Yeah, he's really taking advantage of this. As Papan now trying to make a move on Mr. Alcon. This is where he rejoined then after being off the track at the hairpin. And Papan will be on the outside, and Brownski trying to get involved. He's going to make it 3 wide, and Brownski through the middle. And Papan has got a worse run down the straight. And Mr. Alcon's off again. That's not going to help. And Brownski's gone wide as well. As a result, there might have been, I didn't really see any contact between those two, but there might have been a little bit just that made him unable to brake as efficiently as they would have wanted. So that has given Papan actually the position after all. And now Gronstra is at the back of this train with Hideaki. Charf up to 9th and Enzo up to 8th. Crucially, those guys who are really fast, gaining several positions from all that went on there.
Yes, definitely. Seems like that Nismo's not pulling away that quickly as I thought he would from Dangerous Janetta and who is it behind Brandress. Actually, fastest car in the top 5 at the moment is clearly Vernox with a 41.1 on the last lap.
Yeah, and he's not far behind. Vernox could be a shot for the winner, actually. I would say, based on his form as well in the sprint race.
Yeah, it depends really on how quick Klaasens now gets through, and also Enzo behind.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, and Enzo is gonna die. He took a quite tight line there, just showing himself in the mirrors of Rillo and Charf as well. Right behind these guys, probably just content with following Enzo. He's his main championship rival at the moment, after the first couple of races. Those two have sort of been the standout on pace as well around this circuit so far. Charf a little bit wider actually, lost a bit of pace on the exit. Enzo might get the opportunity to challenge Rillo down the straight, but probably isn't as close as he would have wanted either. Yeah. I think Rillo will have him covered into the hairpin.
Yeah, by far. Yes,
unless he goes very wide. And he does, so he's going to let both the championship rivals through then.
Which I think, you know, not too bad for them. Although, yeah, well, it's not bad for them, but they're also very close to Klaasens now, so Klaasens really has to try to get past Andrex as soon as possible to prevail that advantage he had in the earlier part of the race. He might actually be here, Andrex defending the inside line into turn 1, and if he has the braking covered, he should stay ahead for the moment, and he does so. Very good defense from Andrex there for the moment.
Yep, I was just watching Brandress pass Dangerous Janetta for P2 up there. He also move into turn 1. Andrex
Yes.
still defending from Clausen, doing a good job at the moment. Andrex, I've tried to pass him before in the GT3 leagues, and it's not easy.
And Vernex now going to be 3. It seems like that Nismo now has picked up the pace a little bit. 41.2 was his last lap.
Championship rivals side by side then for P7 at the moment. Enzo defending the inside in the hairpin from Charf. And he seems to have held onto it at the moment. Has to leave room in the exit though, but he has his car ahead now. And then battling behind, I think Hideaki side by side with something, is he? So side by side with Gronster, we can't really see it much from this angle.
Yeah,
but there we go.
Gronster, and Gronster's taking the position before the braking zone even. Hideaki always seems so slippery under braking. I think it's just because he's driving with the pad, but it always seems like his car is like all over the place all the time.
Yeah. It's yeah, I think potentially the only one in the league who drives on the pad. He at least was that in the GT3 league last season.
It's not the inside of...
Jesus Christ! I didn't even look because I thought it was too far back.
And I think it was a glue effect again a little bit, who pushed both them a little bit wide, and Hideaki has taken the position again. So that's not worked out for Gronster as he would have liked. And Klaassen still stuck behind Andrex actually, so this is Andrex going defensive once again, but Klaassen still trying to jump inside into the...
Oh, don't force him on the grass! He's gonna be really aggressive with the defense here, and Klaassen's been forced to brake at a really awkward angle, very, very tight. Andrex just about left him enough room, but you can't really brake properly there. I probably didn't even see his braking point, because my braking reference there was on the left side of the track. Andrex really made it hard, and it went well wide there, did Klaassen's, and that has again given Enzo and Charf a free position as a result of other guys going off. And yeah, luckily for Enzo not to cut.
I thought that Enzo for a moment had a cut track penalty there because he ran really wide in that corner, but he did not. Yes, definitely. And well, Nismo casually pulling away, but it seems like Vernex is now up into P3 and is challenging Brandress quite heavily. That'll be interesting, actually. It's gonna be interesting. I think by now, I think we can say that Enzo and Charf are too far back to really catch Nismo or Vernex. If they don't catch them by over a second. I mean, they need to catch them by over a second almost.
Or if these guys don't have an incident, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, still side by... This doesn't help, actually, that Enzo and Charf are going side by side here all the time, but they're still doing it.
Yeah. So still some are very close together, door against door nearly, there between the championship rivals, and Charf on the inside. It's I said it already. This is such a tricky one to be side by side through. So you really understeer as the inside car there. You really understeer towards the outside. Charf, it's going to be 3 wide maybe again. Charf has got his car ahead. Enzo really struggling with the top end down towards the corner. Klaasen's again on the inside with a tight braking angle, but he's got his slow down this time.
Double switch back from Nismo. No, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Oh. What a move from Klaasen's. Gronster joining in again. Will he be able to actually race without contact this time? Because Gronster clearly has the pace, but so far this race, the racecraft hasn't really been just what they would have wanted. And is that a cut track for Klaasen? Like he got the inside line? No, he seems to have gotten away with that one. As Gronster, yeah. As Gronster's going to try to challenge. That is Enzo, of course, now on the inside. And Gronster's going to go around the outside. Enzo forced to leave room. Can he get it on the traction? Not quite yet. He's got only half his car alongside. And he does have the inside though. And we know Gronster tends to like... Yeah, no, he's slotted in behind. I was going to say he tends to like to go up the inside into braking zones. But this time he just was a little bit too slow on the straight. So it's this is what the reverse grid does. It's absolutely... battles going on everywhere, and it's hard to know where to look, because while this has been going on, Vernex has made the pass on Brandress for a P2. Yes. And he only got a second or so up to Nismo for the lead of the race, so there could well be, I'm going to say there's almost definitely going to be a battle for the lead here within the next few laps. No doubt about it. And it really depends on how much these guys are losing. And well, there's still Andrex in P5 who's holding up this quite a threatening, actually, like, train behind him with 4 drivers are really quick as Charf is very close to who was it, Klaasen's, but
Klaassen actually seems to have got the
Oh,
better
look, they're
way
side by side
better
again. Oh, never.
And I wonder if Klaassen again goes up the inside here. No, he does not. Andrex slightly defends again. Of course, these guys had their moment into turn 1 earlier.
There's no room there, mate. There's no room there on that side, Klaassens. Jesus.
And Chaff has taken that position. Is he trying to go up the inside straight away?
Oh, Klaassens has completely messed up the braking. Luckily, he's not hit anyone, but he's going to drop way down behind all of these guys.
He's
And now,
gone straight.
yeah, that was slightly missed his braking point.
Probably about 30-40 meters or something, which is quite heavy because we're not like approaching that like really high speeds in this car. So
These fast guys are really holding each other up.
They do.
I have
They
to say,
do.
Hideaki and Papan have caught up to them, even as a result of it.
Papan has been absolutely nowhere so far in this race, really getting through the traffic. But he's again behind Chaff again.
I wonder if Chaff had to take avoiding action or something from Klaassens, or if he got put off, because he was ahead of Enzo going into there. Now he's behind him, and with Gronstra in between.
He could well and truly be. Gronstra was also behind both of these guys. Oh, as someone is going defensive, that's Andrex going defensive on Enzo.
I'm just sorry, I'm just switching to the battle for the leader because we have got
God.
Vernox having caught up to Nismo and nearly side by side out of turn 1. It was very close. Vernox was really challenging him there. So, but Nismo has done a good job at the moment to defend, and of course, while these guys will be battling, Brandress have joined the mix again after previously having passed.
Chaff is off. I think he misjudged his braking point a little bit behind Andrex, and he was a little bit off there. He was actually making moves. He was in front of Enzo and Gronstra for some reason again, and Gronstra now trying up the inside of Enzo into turn 7? Not sure.
Probably. We'll say so.
Contact on the exit there, but I think they're still side by side. Are they?
This is crazy. This race in the mid pack here, with the fast guys trying to get through efficiently, but none of them have been able to do it. They just keep holding each other up and battling. It's great for us, of course.
Yes, definitely. And now Hideaki having to defend from Papan as well, and Papan now in front of Klaassen, who we considered as one of the favorites to win this race because of his qualifying position, but now he is down in P11 at the moment.
Yeah. And back to the front, we've got Nismo still just about by less than a car length holding on to lead the race. Now coming through the final corner here, there's 9. There's going to be 8 more laps remaining after they cross the line now. So we're just over halfway in this race, and this time Vernox is looking to the inside into turn 1. This might be the move for the lead for Vernox here. He's got nearly his full car alongside, brakes slightly later as well with the inside line. Can he get his slowdown properly? Yes, he can. Get on the traction. And there we go, Vernox into the lead of this race, passing Nismo here. And then Brandress not too far behind. Janetta still holding on to P4 by quite some margin because of all these guys behind battling.
Oh my God.
And there's still like double side-by-sides going on.
It seems like Andrex has finally lost P5 as that contact between Klaassen and Chaff, I think it was. I'm not too sure. But
Yeah, I believe so.
Klaassen's made the move or defended him. I don't even know, but crucially for Enzo, he is through at the moment. He is definitely through, and if he can keep this up, he will probably even overtake Chaff in the championship. But the race is still not over, of course, by far, not by any stretches. I mean, still 7.5 laps to go, and well, it's incredible.
Yeah,
I'm flabbergasted a little bit, to be honest.
Oh, might be some moves going on there. Papan's on the outside of Hideaki. That's for P9. And he's getting a good exit. And he's going to have to hold it round the outside the kink as well, though. And it does it well without going off the track. And Klaassen's trying to take advantage as well of Hideaki being forced on the tighter exit. And Hideaki twitching all over the place with his pad steering. Now on the inside here, Klaassen's going to try to go around the outside the hairpin, but Hideaki doing well to hold on. And Brownski now joining the mix again after all these guys have been holding each other up. As Klaassen's getting a much better exit out of the hairpin with the traction, and has taken Hideaki for the final top 10 position at the moment. So, as you mentioned, Enzo, the first man of this massive battle, to get a bit of a break, but not by much. He's still got Gronstra Just a few tenths behind him, though. Charf is going to look to the inside line, trying to break later, but not quite close enough to get that move sorted. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this affects the championship. Of course, it's got Enzo and Charf 1 point apart going into tonight. But then Charf
and
won.
at the moment, they have 4 points, yeah, after
Yep.
the race and the qualifying points.
I'm not 100% sure of the point system to know what the difference between 5th and 7th is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's around 4.
Can actually quickly check between which place? 4th and 6th? No, 5th and 7th.
5th and 7th, yes.
Yes, 4 points. No, 2 points actually.
Okay.
2 points. There's 16 points for P5, P5 and 14 points for P7.
Okay, so at the moment, Charf leading the championship by 2 points, if it stays like this, over Enzo. But a long way to go, of course, in the race. Andrex now in P8, ahead of Papan, ahead of Claessens and Brownski. Where's Hideaki gone? He's dropped all the way down to 13th, so he has had some problems back there while we've been talking about the championship battle. Hideaki is not quite gone his way. Brownski up to 11th then, but having to defend a little bit from Jeff, who in this race so far at least has got no damage, unlike in the sprint race. It's good for him, and Claessen's now trying to challenge Papan for P9. Claessen's been looking like the slightly faster driver, but has been slowed down quite a lot by various battles. And
someone gets lapped.
tracks.
Someone gets lapped here. I think that's Jim Baum actually, or Suda, who got lapped I think by the other guys. He's letting lots of people through in the straight here, but he's of course not having a good race. Jim Baum actually 5 laps down.
Yeah, so he's definitely 5 laps. That seems a bit excessive.
Oh well, it says on your stream overlay thingy, which I just checked.
Well, if he's still going, then that's quite impressive.
He is not. No, he's not going. He's in the pits at the moment, probably also enjoying this battling going on rather than.
Yeah. Brownski has dropped off the back of that train he had caught up to previously, and now battling with a Jeff side by side. They're going to be towards the hairpin. Through the kink here is just about flat out when he goes single file. Brownski probably had to lift a little bit on the title line there, but he still holds on to the inside line for the hairpin and does well to get a speed out of it as well, which has actually put Jeff under pressure from Hideaki now, and they're going to be side by side. Oh, I just saw that in the foreground.
Oh my god, these guys, especially. Oh, this is going to be 3 wide. Oh my god. Especially Claessens and Andrex. I mean,
now they're going to be 3 wide. Oh, nearly.
I mean, Claessen has been like Andrex has been the roadblocker for Claessens all race long. Remember that turn 1 thing? There were also these two involved, and they're still not getting to get through, and instead Papan is getting through. It's absolutely crazy.
Andrex has really made himself hard to pass there. Unfortunately for him, all these guys have eventually managed to get it done, but it certainly took them a lot longer than they would have wanted. So Andrex has done a really good job to be a tricky man to pass. Oh god, I saw, yeah, that was them going past the back marker over there. And Gronstra and Charf still by side. Charf's closer than he has been on the inside line, and this time he might just make the move, stick on Gronstra. Gronstra's still going to try to hold it through the next kink and with the inside line maybe for the next corner. So far he's holding on, but of course a longer way around. He's going to have to do it on the braking if he wants to move, but no, there we go. Charf finally through on Gronstra up to P6, and only 1 position now behind his championship rival, but Enzo has actually caught up to Branderus for P4, so Branderus is in good position. Branderus has had a problem then, because he was ahead of James Janetta previously, now he's behind him, and with Enzo all over the back of him, as there was a car in the background going off I think that was the back marker.
Yeah, but actually Brander is now closer to James Jonathan, and Enzo is on the back of him. That's not quite close enough to make a move there into this sort of happen. Very sharp left-hander.
Reading in the chat as well, thank you Alec, that Claessens has gone off. He's down in P13.
Oh dear.
So he's had an off-camera moment there.
Despite passing Andrex.
Yeah. Finally passed Andrex, and then he's just undone it somehow. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there. That's Charf and Gronstra. Gronstra going a little bit too deep and hitting into the side of him. Obviously, luckily no major time lost there, I think.
We have a very interesting battling probably developing. Andrex versus Brownski for P8.
Ooh, now that is an interesting battle. 2 absolute veterans of the AOR Project Car scene. Been there ever since GT3 Season 1. And now they're going at it there for P8 in the BMW 320 League.
Christ, it's now the dangerous to that. Oh no, this brother is spinning into the wall at the exit of turn 1, but all by himself. Just couldn't control the counter traction, and he is out of that podium position battle. Very unfortunate.
And he's retired to the pits. That's him out of the race, actually. That sucks for him. He was doing so well, of course. Started quite up the field, but for a long time was looking very good for a podium. But then he's still gone wrong, unfortunately for him. Oh my word, that was Gronstra going through for P4, and then Charf up the inside. Oh, he just got it slowed down before any contact there. Had to cut the corner a little bit, but that was purely to avoid it. Yeah, that
was very, very opportunistic from Charf there.
Indeed. And Gronstra then actually showing some real pace there. Enzo forced to leave room, but Charf wasn't able to carry the speed through the corner.
Charf is throwing everything at the drivers in front of them.
Maybe maybe getting a little bit frustrated that you know, he can't. You know, he's used to winning. He's used to finishing on the podium.
Yes.
But these guys are really making him unable to do it. So,
worth mentioning, Nismo is right behind Vernox again.
Oh right, yeah.
Not sure what. Let's check the last lap time. Last lap time was pretty identical. But Nismo has somewhere improved his fastest lap, so Nismo seems to have found some pace somewhere, somehow, and it's really, I mean, there's only 2.5 laps to go, but still, the battle, I think, is still on here. If Vernox makes a slight mistake, this could be gone for him.
Might well be, yeah. Nismo, even if he doesn't quite have the pace match Vernox, at least as long as he's right there in his mirrors, he's really forcing Vernox to have 100% focus there, because as you said, if you put just a foot a tiny bit wrong, Nismo will be right there to take it, and he's even gaining in the braking zone there. Nowhere he passed him though for now, but yeah, he's really close. That's Gronstra. Oh, where's Dangerous Janetta gone? Oh, he's dropped really behind the whole trio.
Oh yeah,
the championship fighters. Charf still behind Enzo, behind Gronstra, who's now up into the podium positions then. And then Andrex are back up to 7th ahead of Bransky. Weren't they battling for 8th before?
Yes, there must be someone. Yeah, it was
that Brandress? Oh, no, I think that was when Brandress spun.
Ah, yeah, Brandress, of course, yeah. Brandress, of course. Oh, Bransky running a little bit wide, but managing to keep it in front of Hideaki for the moment. I wonder if... No... Feels like that this final podium finish is really going to be between Gronstra and Enzo and Charf. And for Enzo, it would be actually crucial to get Gronstra between him and Charf, because he would gain 4 points then on his championship rival, and that would equal out the points once again after 2 rounds. But he has to really also have to look out for Charf himself, because Charf seems to like threatening this Enzo more than he is threatening Gronstra for the moment, but Enzo has the inside line and defense for the moment.
Yeah, it's as you said, the absolute ideal situation there would be for Enzo to get ahead of Gronstra while Gronstra still stays ahead of Charf. But of course, the last thing he wants is Charf to actually get ahead of him. So this is potentially a big moment for the championship, given how close they've been in the season so far. Of course, there's still 4 weeks to go with 2 races in each of those, but. With the way it's standing at the moment, these guys are the 2 guys battling mainly for the championship.
I noticed Browns gets overtaken Andrex in the background. Not sure where it was. Probably into turn 1.
You'd imagine so. And Hideaki as well, very much in that mix, with Claessen's right behind.
Ooh, very close. Very close. Claessen's probably going now the inside of Hideaki, if I'm not mistaken. Although it's going to be free. No.
Not quite. Claessen's decides decides to back out of it for now. So let's have a look at the front. Anything Nismo's managed to do? No, he's still just sitting there, hoping for Vernox to make a mistake somewhere on the final 2 laps. Actually, no, we're entering the final lap in just a moment. Yeah. So 1 lap to go for Vernox to hold on from Nismo to take the win here.
A healthy gap. It has been bigger than in the last couple of laps.
Decent
Definitely.
gap, and a definitely healthy gap from Nismo down to Gronstra. How is Enzo? Is forced to defend again on the inside. And Charf, this is the championship challengers as we mentioned already, and Enzo very much on the inside. Charf breaking later though. Can he go around the outside? He's certainly going to try it, and I think he's going to pull it off. And Charf has, unless he understeers off the track, there's still going to be some side actually, and Enzo still is not giving this one up. But Charf might have the inside line if he doesn't lose too much speed with the outside into the kink. And now Enzo braking later, cutting him across there, just about fair, I would say. Both of them running, both of them running wide.
No, it's not a contract.
None of them slowing down. Oh, luckily the battle can continue then. Enzo ahead of Charf. This is absolute amazing battle between these two guys. Enzo still defending the inside line. Charf not finding a way through. I was sure it was gonna make the move stick there when he had nearly his full car ahead on the exit of turn 1, but somehow didn't make it work. Enzo doing such a good job there, and still forced to defend the inside. I have a feeling he's gonna be forced to defend the inside for every corner for the rest of this race.
Yes, definitely. Cut track, the cutback of Charf didn't quite work up the front. It seems like Vernox is in front, so let's continue to watch this battle for the championship, basically. And again, Enzo the forced to defend the inside line, but he's still ahead.
He's just parking his car on the inside for every corner now,
Yes,
just to make sure.
Charf has to get the inside line for the final corner, otherwise it's going to be...
Oh, it's just about in time, as Enzo would remember that there's still one corner that he needs to go the inside for, and here we go. But will that compromise his exit? You never know. Charf is right on him, and with a little bit of slipstream towards the line, who will get P4 and the points for the championship? Enzo gets the extra 2 points, which means Enzo's going to only be 2 points behind.
Wait,
for the championship.
Charf is in front of Enzo in the stands.
Yeah, that is just a bit of a bug, I would say. Janetta's going to hold on for P6 ahead of Andrex, and then Brownski, and then there was a very close between Hideaki and Klausness, clearly. Papan and Villo, the teammates, coming up next, and then Sula. Next going to be Paradiski, flashing the light still, some decent points for him. Sula, Sula was lapped actually, so he didn't actually get that position. Jeff is going to be the next man across the line in P15. Whenever he decides to... No, has he retired? Oh
yes,
yeah, of course, he retired from the race. So there's no more finishers. 13 on the lead lap, Sula 1 lap down, and then Jeff, Brandris, Jim Baum, the guys who DNF'd. And actually there was someone who has left the session at some point, because I swear we had 18 cars before.
Yes. Not sure who was it.
Vernix has just told me over Steam that he doesn't want an interview. That's good enough.
But he doesn't want.
I think that's why he
doesn't? He doesn't or he does?
Let me have a quick check. I didn't be that quick enough. No interview.
No interview. Okay. Aww.
But yeah, here is then your race winner. That is Vernix. His first win of the season. Passing Nismo at some point and holding on. Ronster got to final podium position, and then, yeah, well, this is not right. Enzo, we saw Enzo cross the line before Charf, but Project Cars clearly disagreed for some reason. But yeah, that's going to be Enzo. He's still second in the championship, but only 2 points behind Charf, going out of the Zhuhai event.
It might be crucial towards the end of the season, if for Enzo at least, that he hold on to that position, because I think it's going to be so tight every race between these two guys. It seems like, at least, and it seems like also that Charf usually outqualifies Enzo so far, and if Enzo keeps just doing good performance in the main race and just keeping ahead in the main race, that might actually be crucial towards the end.
Definitely. So then, that was the race. So, these guys, there was so much action. I'm sorry, Brownski. Jesus, just had a lovely sound there. Sorry, Brownski, we didn't catch your overtake on Andrex, I'm afraid, because we were watching Enzo and Charf. I assume that's what we were watching at the time. Going at it as they were for basically the whole race. So yeah, but I'm sure Brownski also an amazing overtake here around the outside on the front corner apparently, so that sounds amazing.
That was probably the overtake we missed earlier on. Well, he lost the position in the end again, but
yeah. So interview time then?
Yes.
if we find
Well,
anyone to interview.
well, Vernex is refusing to do so.
Yeah, I think we're
so-
just gonna get the championship challenger in, to be honest.
Yes, that's a good shout. And who else? Maybe Nisma or maybe Andrex, because he had just had so many different
interesting ways.
defending. So-
I'm gonna first of all bring the championship leader as it stands. I believe by 2 points, maybe by 3 actually, if they have the pole position point.
Oh yeah, could be.
User was moved to your channel.
Charf, welcome to the
Hello.
commentary box. Man,
thank
what
you.
a race you had. The battle with
Yeah.
Enzo was crazy. And for the
Jeez.
championship as well, you guys being very close at the top, of course, of the standings at the moment. How was it?
It was fantastic, man. This racing in this league with the default setups, everything's so close and the racing's so good. And I'm really sweating now after those last few laps. It was, yeah, really intense.
Oh, I can imagine. Obviously, it wasn't all about the main race. There was a sprint race, first of all, which you won quite well. Took pole, and then you didn't drop any positions. You just held on to the win. Like, it's obviously two very different type of races on the night when you're in your position.
Yeah.
How do you find it, like the format in general?
I think the format in general is really good. Like the first race, you get the qualifying positions for the positions of the second race, and yeah, in the first race, it's basically just about keeping your pace. And like for me, it was at least this race, and not making any mistakes, to not drop. And that went pretty much decently. And then the second race, of course, it's a bit more action in that.
Yeah.
You need to pass like 17 people to get to the front to the podium, and that's a lot. And you have contact every now and then, but I think that's just touring car racing. That's what it's about. Well, not all what it's about, but a bit. It's part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you didn't manage to get all of the 17 cars, unfortunately, but you got 13 of them, I believe, in the end.
I think I was 5th or something.
Yeah,
Like-
5th, just behind Enzo.
yeah, I
also-
pushed him over the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't overtake him. He was defending pretty well.
And obviously, in the earlier parts of the race as well, there was a huge scrap with the 2 orange cars involved, and you guys tried to get past Andrex, and I think there were a few close calls with a few of you guys. Was there any sort of incidents incidents of note that happened there?
What I saw at least was that Andrex was taking a pretty random defending line, like moving randomly to the right side where someone else was just about sticking his front wheels alongside his rear wheels.
Right.
And then he moved to the right side, sorry. And yeah, that caused a bit of chaos on there because I was approaching with Enzo behind them. And then yeah, it was. I'm not sure. I wasn't involved in that. I was involved in some incident a couple of laps later, I think, but that was all right. It happens. Can't do anything about that.
Worked out reasonably well in the end. So, well,
Yeah.
I think that's enough said for the time being. You are, of course, leading the championship still, we think, by 3 points over Enzo as it stands.
Yeah, it's a bit harder to calculate than
Yeah.
the GT3.
But yeah, we'll get confirmation that's obviously when the standings are officially updated. But yeah, thank you, Jeff, for joining us in the commentary box, and good luck for the rest of your championship challenge.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers, man.
Yeah.
User was moved out of your channel.
That was
Yay!
tough. Let's get his championship rival Enzo in there as well. Also the coordinator of the league, worth pointing out.
Oh yeah. Good.
User was moved to your channel.
Enzo,
Hello, Fizzy.
how are you doing after all of that?
Oh, stressed. That was
imagine.
such a hectic race.
You've had obviously, 2 races. Both of them you were very close with Char for basically the whole race.
Yeah.
The first one, unfortunately, you weren't quite able to get close
The
enough to him.
first one, it was just, I seen him right there in front of me, and
Yeah.
I was pushing harder than I've ever pushed whilst racing, and I'm quite impressed I was able to keep as good pace with him as I did, because
'cause
at
no
the
one
end
else
of the
was.
actual race, there was only a 2-second gap, so I'm only losing, say, 3-4 tenths here and there. But obviously, it racks up in the end, and doing mistakes like that, you have no hope of catching somebody as consistent as Chaff.
and then of course the reverse grid race where you two were still close together for pretty much the whole race, and of course
Yeah.
it ended in that almighty battle.
Yeah, it was
how was
such
that?
a good battle.
Yeah.
Pretty much exact same as what we was doing in the social race. It was just a race-long battle between me and Chaff. Some really dicey moves and whatnot. Some silly defending, running down the pit wall.
Yeah.
But no, it was well fought. We tried to keep it as clean as we possibly could. His defending and attacking was always fair. I like to think that my defending was fair for him, but no, it was a really good battle and well fought.
Yeah, he didn't mention any problems with your battle at least when he was in there this morning, so that's good.
yeah, he's very happy with the battles we've been having because everybody thinks that the majority think that it's really fun getting in a battle that way, like in a 3-4 way battle, like because for the 1 minute we had me, Chaff, Perry Grunster and Clarson's in a big 4-way mix, and it's just so hectic.
But fun to watch, obviously. I'm not sure where I would have been if I was actually driving, but based on last week, I would have been on the front row for the main race, and then I would have had some kind of problem, and then I would have died. So, but it was great to watch. Great race, absolutely fantastic battling, and of course we think with the unofficial calculations that you are only 3 points behind Charf still for the championship, so it's game 2 on you, but
yeah, because I think first place gets like a 2.
Yeah, something like that.
There's like a 2-point jump from second to first, like as for the bonus for winning.
Yeah.
And I got an extra position on top of him from the main race, so yeah, that sounds about right.
So still though, it's very close. Do you think you can take him all the way to the end for the championship?
Call me optimistic, but yeah, definitely.
Nice.
I think because touring cars, anything can happen. He had an accident at Laguna where he had damage and he just couldn't keep up with us unless we was hard battling. But who's to say that will never happen again and he's able to give me a points buffer in the championship? But you never know. I could have a big accident and that could send me right down the order, but it's just the nature of racing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the reverse grid, the chances
Yeah,
of incidents is a little bit higher than normal. But I have to say, very impressed with your pace and so far this season. And
Yeah, thank you, Fizzer.
hope you guys can keep up the battle there at the top.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us in the box.
No
and
worries, man. Thanks
next
for
week.
commentating. See you later.
See you.
User left your channel.
Cool. That was Enzo.
I'm just very quiet during this interview, so it's just it's just fun with listening. You know? No, normally I'm not good in doing this anyway because I just don't
Feel
know
free to
what
jump in if you think of anything very, very cool to ask. But until then, I'll just keep going. Did we want to? We wanted Andrex, didn't we? But I see this not here anymore.
Who's in still? I don't know. We could get in Hideaki or Papand or Brownsky or whatever.
Many people we could get into.
We could get Brownskin to describe his amazing overtake at the last one.
Yeah, let's do that. Just because I'm a teammate and I favor him because I'm biased. So let's get Brownskin.
Okay.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello, dear teammate.
Hello. How are you?
How are you? So straight from the Twitch chat into the Twitch commentary instead. Obviously, as we already pointed out, we didn't quite catch your overtake on Andrix a few laps from the end apparently, so I thought we'd get you in to describe every detail of it.
Is that on the move on Andrex, you said?
Yes.
Basically, I saw him, he was a bit slow on the penultimate corner most of the time, so I decided I'm going to do it on the final corner. He had a bit of a poor run, so I went round the outside, and I know he's clean. I've been racing him for ages.
Yeah.
So I know he'll leave room, so I just went round the outside and then we're just side by side down the whole straight, and I just braked a bit later, and that's just how it happened. Yeah, but then on the final lap I had a bit of a curb issue, so he got me back.
well, unfortunately we missed that because Enzo and Sharp were also having an amazing battle. So,
Yeah, I heard it was quite fun up.
but Bransky, in terms of your races in general, you had, remind me, you had, what were you in the first race again?
I think it was 12th and a 8th or something like that.
Bang in the midfield pretty much in both of them. So, how was your night overall?
I had fun for what it was, but I felt like I could have done much better. Like my pace was a lot better than what my positions were.
Yeah, you of course had up into second already on the first lap, and then of course there was this.
No, I was actually in the first, I think, around the outside of the first corner.
For a
That was
second.
Paradisky, I think it was.
Yeah, and then we just got the glue, and it was just it's just frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Was of course
But,
shame to say
it happens.
It's
gonna
some
happen.
sessions.
Yeah, I find them races the best though, when you're at the back and you're just coming back through.
Yeah. But they are a lot of fun to watch. So, Bransky, I don't know if I'll be back alongside you in the lovely blue car for next race. We will wait and see.
Maybe. We'll see.
I don't even know if you want me back in the car.
Yeah, why not? You can do both. You could commentate and you can race.
Interesting. I'll try to work on that for next week. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, Bransky, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
User was moved out of your channel.
Cool. Alright, we can see now in the Twitch chat, basically all the drivers have come in to have a chat.
Yay!
They seem to have enjoyed it. Nismo's in air, finished second of course in the main race. Groby, who I don't think raced in this race, but I know he's a racer in AOR, so maybe he's in the Pro League.
Yes, I think he's in Pro League. Which of course streamed from King Kodiak's point of view. Not sure if he
No, I think
streams.
interestingly, I think King Kodak actually races himself in the Pro League on this this one.
I
So,
see.
yeah. But
I
I
see.
don't know. Is there anything more to say? It's been a lot of action, hasn't it?
Definitely, especially the main race. Like, I mean, you couldn't expect anything less really from a reverse grid because action down the order. But especially like the battle for the last podium position was really, really open until the last lap, and especially if you have like people like Andrex who just can defend and hold everyone off for so long, it's just really, really enjoyable to watch.
And mainly clean as well. I was very happy to see, the vast majority of the battles were 100% clean, but then of course a few incidents mixed in, which I guess is part of the package when you've got the cars of different pace running that close together. But for next week, here's a very lovely graphic of the calendar that we got. So we've done the first two. You saw me race at Laguna Seca, you saw everyone else race at Zhuhai. Which one of them you'll see next week remains to be seen, but we got Silverstone International, one of the shorter layouts of the Silverstone circuit. That should definitely be an interesting one in these cars.
Definitely. Could try to remember where this circuit is going through. So we got
That's the one that's
Stowe, Vale. I know, it's just a hairpin there in turn 3.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
you got the first 3 corners, and then it cuts off to the right.
Oh, yeah.
We would normally carry on down to Brooklands on the main layout.
I see, I see.
Just straight onto the hanger straight. So yeah, that should be fun. And maybe with me in the car, maybe with me in the commentary box again. As I said, we'll have to wait and see how that. But Chris, thanks for the commentary. It was fun.
No problem. And if you decide not to race, which I hope you will, I would be happy to join.
Why do you hope
again.
that?
Because I want you, because you're a racer. You're supposed to race if you sign off.
I'm a racer. What can't I drive? Anyway. Yeah, let us know in the chat actually, guys, whether you prefer to see me actually drive at the back of the field, or if you prefer to see the broadcast again. Be interested to know your opinions as well. But yeah, I think for me, I'll like I said, I'll give the car a try again around Silverstone, and see how we get on. If I feel like there's a chance of me, competing to the extent that I can have fun races next week, then I might drive it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, it's been a fun broadcast though tonight, and hope regardless of what happens next week that you'll be back back here to enjoy the action. So Chris, thanks again for joining, and thanks to everyone who's been watching tonight. And we will see you in a week's time for some more BMW 320 touring car action. Good night.
Bye bye.